privilege of talking to you guys about and introducing our speaker this morning. Valencia Williamson has been such a joy to get to know over the past couple of weeks as she's joined the chamber, but I wanted to let you guys know exactly how the board of directors was able to get to know and interview Valencia. The board back in January approved a national search, so a nationwide search instead of just doing a local search, and we hired a firm to help us do that because we felt like that it was that important to us. So the board appointed a search committee, which was chaired by Chuck, and I appreciate all the work that Chuck and each one of the search committee members did. Enjoyed serving alongside them. So we appreciate Chuck Reed there and all those members that served there. But number one, we had some fantastic candidates. In fact, the Chasen Group, who we worked with, provided us with a ton of knowledge, and they provided us with some excellent candidates. But one truly stuck out far above the rest. Valencia Williamson has been in the chamber world, or chamber business as she likes to call it, for the past 15 years. The last 10 of those been serving in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and she served in the great state of Florida before that, where she hails from. A graduate of FAMU that's been highlighted in our chat this morning. We're excited to hear from her and what she brings, but I'll tell you from a personal standpoint, the energy level and the excitement and the strategic mindset that Valencia has and a clear vision for how to grow the chamber that she's going to share for us this morning is exciting. And regardless of the kind of economic environment that we're in, the chamber serves to be a resource for our area. And this is not a time to run and hide. This is a time to get out there and lead. And Valencia is just the right person. So along with the great guidance of Paige Estes over the past couple of weeks, Valencia and I and other members of the chamber board have had an exciting first few weeks. So Valencia, we're looking forward to hearing from you and your vision, and welcome to Clayton County.
Thank you, Ben. And also I would like to thank Nick for sponsoring and Truist for participating as well this morning. And as along with the folks over at Heritage Bank. I think sponsorships are incredibly important. It shows the engagement and involvement of our investors, not only in this organization, but in the community as a whole. Ben, thank you for that wonderful introduction. It is my pleasure to be here with you this morning virtually as we have our monthly networking series. This is a great opportunity for you to hear the great things that are happening around our region, and also what is happening in this community specifically and organization. I am honored to serve as the president and CEO of Clayton County Chamber of Commerce, and I know that together we will work to enhance the quality of life through economic progress. I think together is the operative word, in that it is very important that it's not the Valencia show, it is Clayton County, it's our show together. We're in this together. We have a lot of wonderful things that are on the horizon in this community, and it's the organization's role to showcase those things and to go out and tell our story well, so that we can then identify new potential investors to get into the mix and participate and have a seat at the table. So I know Ben gave you a high-level overview of my professional background, but I will share just a little bit about me personally. As I am out getting to know you and spending time building relationships, I think that's very important, that you know who your chamber president is and what our role in the community will be and what my focus will be. So I'll spend some time talking about that this morning as well. I grew up, yes, in Northwest Florida in a small town of Uniac Springs. It's located in the Panhandle, just between Pensacola and Tallahassee. As he said, I am a graduate of Florida A&M University, FAMU, and I saw that Miss Jeanette has chatted with us and welcomed me on behalf of my fellow Rattlers. So thank you for that warm welcome as well. I am an only child. My parents are a small business owner and a retired educator. So as you can imagine, I've got business and education speak deeply in my roots. And that is certainly a passion of mine as well. I think it's very important to bridge gaps between education and business. And I was pleasantly surprised to see that the Clayton Chamber of Commerce has already or has the foresight of having education initiatives through our Principal Partners program. And I've already started those conversations. I will say that I've jumped right in. It's only my second week here, and I feel like I've been here for 2 years. And that is, I think, in part, largely in part, due to Paige, Estes, and to Letitia. They have done a wonderful job of getting the organization to where it is now for me to pick up and to move it forward. So I think those ladies, they've done an incredible job for us, and they've definitely left it better than they found it. So just a little bit more about myself. Ben mentioned that this is my 15th year in the chamber world, and that's correct. Next month, I'll be celebrating my 15th anniversary as a chamber professional. And it's funny how life comes full circle for you. Almost 20 years ago, I was a fresh-faced, recent college grad, and I couldn't wait to get to the Atlanta area after graduation. I came here, I worked for the Kroger company, and I realized really quickly that retail management is a little bit, it's a little bit more than what I can handle. Those guys work really, really hard. Physical labor and very intensive, if you will, in terms of planning. So I did not necessarily enjoy that part of my career. So I was only here for about 3.5 years before I left. But here we are almost 20 years later, and I'm back in this community, back in this region, serving in the community to enhance it and move it forward. And I would think that that would certainly qualify as a full circle career path. So thank you. I'm hearing that my sound is fading. I'm not really sure.
Sorry, Valencia. I was just going to say maybe a little bit closer to the mic. I don't know if it's getting muffled somehow. I want to make sure everybody hears everything you have to say. Sorry about that.
Absolutely. Is it better for me now?
That's perfect right there. Yep.
Oh, good. Okay. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
Thanks for keeping me on track. So it's interesting 20 years later how you're coming back full circle. What I will say though is in my 15-year chamber career, I have had the unique pleasure of working in communities that look completely different. However, the common thread, and what we'll also find here, is it's people. People are the common thread in each of the communities. People are the fabric of our communities. And it's very important for the chamber to connect with the people of the community, regardless of background, social statuses. That's not important to the Chamber of Commerce. It's not important to our function. We're interested in moving business along through economic prosperity. And so I think that our focus here at Clayton County Chamber of Commerce will be to serve all aspects of the community: small, medium, large, multinational corporations, nonprofit organizations. We'll be jumping right in and connecting with our members and prospective members so that we can further our mission. What I'd like to talk a little bit about now are the key areas of focus over this next year. As you can imagine, I'm going to be incredibly busy as I am out learning the community and getting acclimated with the leadership of this community and with the business community as a whole. And so I have broken my plan down into 4 areas of focus over this next year: quality, communication, partnerships, and connectivity. Start with quality. A great friend of mine used to always say, you gotta look good to do good. And as simple as that is, I kind of laugh at that because it's pretty simple. But in reality, you gotta show well in order to be confident about what it is that you're out selling. And so everything from, our marketing collateral and resource pieces, everything needs to be consistent and show very well so that we can enhance the quality of what we're doing. But moreover than the frontline pieces of what you're going to be seeing, it's important that we provide value-added programs and services. And what that really means is, take this networking series, for example. by having high quality speakers and relevant information every month, it helps us to go out not only and recruit sponsors, but engage more of our membership and the community at large in what it is that we're doing. The Chamber of Commerce is a convener, it's a connector, but it's also a resource hub and a solution center. So our small businesses and medium and corporate, corporate communities as well, they want to see what the Chamber of Commerce, how we're leading, what tone we're setting, so then the business community can follow. So that's where we'll be providing value-added programs and services. And then strengthening our organizational capacity. As we're enhancing our program of work, the capacity of what the organization is capable and has the wherewithal of doing will also increase. We will be able to do more, we'll get asked to do more in the community, and where it makes sense and ties back to our mission is where we will place our focus. I think that, and I mentioned this to someone earlier this week, we get a lot of questions about, well, what is the Chamber of Commerce? What role do you play in economic development? How is it different? Well, Chamber of Commerce work is a component of economic development, which is the larger picture. However, our role as a chamber is really to bridge the gap between community development and economic development. So the work that we're doing, whether it's workforce training or education initiatives, healthcare initiatives, those all fall under community development, small business development. That's all community development work. However, the Chamber bridges that gap by being that resource center and being a solutions hub for the business community. And as we're strengthening our capacity and providing the value-added programs and services, then we will increase our scope of impact. So we will begin to have a further reach within the region, and our impact will be broader. And then, of course, as we are, testing the waters, learning and hearing from our members about what they want to see us do, where the gaps are in the community, which we will do in the form of a survey down the road here, we will certainly be able to evaluate our results and then report on progress. I think it's very important, it's good to go out and to ask people for feedback, but if you're never reporting what you've heard, if you're never reporting and then evaluating and acting on and building programs and services around what you've heard and the feedback that you've gotten, it's all for naught. So I think it's very important that as we are garnering your feedback, that we can also evaluate those results, and then we can be totally transparent and report on our progress. Communicating the message. So all of these are really connected. So as we're enhancing our quality, we're really going to be spending more time and really leaning heavily on you to help us communicate our message. The branding and identity is key. I think that consistency in our branding helps to define who we are. So again, I'll go back to the Chamber's why. We get a lot of questions about, well, who are we? What are we supposed to be doing? What is our mission? Well, our mission is solid. We're enhancing quality of life. We're driving the power of business. Those are all part of the organization's mission. Our identity then becomes how we go about doing those things, how we go about doing the work of the chamber. And so as we're building that identity or enhancing the identity that we already have based on the foundation that's been laid, we can be consistent in our branding and our storytelling. Building two-way communication channels is really us communicating with you, with the members. We want to hear from you. Again, it's not the Valencia show. I'm here to serve. I work behind the scenes. A lot of times, you really shouldn't see me. You don't even see me. I'm working behind the scenes and working through organizations to further this organization's mission to enhance our community. But the two-way communication channel, my door will always be open. The office will always be open for you to come by and visit. And right now, of course, call and let's do some virtual meetings, and I'm doing a lot of those. But I want to hear from you what you're doing so that way we can reevaluate what we've been doing and enhance and moving forward. And then, of course, the story sharing. This is very important to me. I think telling our story and telling it well ties right back into who we are and building consistent branding. If we're all singing from the same sheet of music and the choir sounds great, everyone's on their feet. And I think that's very important, is to build champions and making sure that we have consistent messaging from the leadership of this organization to our leadership in the community, our elected officials, state legislators, also the small businesses, medium and large businesses. We need everyone telling Clayton County's story and the story of this organization so that we can go out and recruit more advocates and more champions. And then all of this happens because we're refining the tools that we're using. What are we currently doing? Are we connecting with people via social media in a way that's meaningful, and that we are providing messages in a consistent fashion so they know where to go and look for the resources that this chamber provides? Are our print publications where they need to be? Do we need to enhance our website? Those are the types of things that I'll be looking for in terms of our marketing tools. Is our membership brochure telling the story of what it is that we're doing? Is it consistent with the website and with our social media? I think that's very important. Social media, as you know, has now become really the #1 form and platform of communication. I'm old school. I still love a good print publication. I love to get something in my hands. That's because I'm just old school that way. However, the vast majority of people get their information online, and they want it quickly and they want it fast. And so we as an organization have to shift our thinking and how we're reaching our members. There are going to be certain segments of the membership who's like me, who still wants something in their hands, something that's print. And then there are going to be segments of the organization who don't need that. So we'll be providing quite a few different tools for you to see our story, and then of course go out and share it with others. Enhance partnerships. I think that in order for us to grow as an organization and to move forward about the business of this community, especially during these unprecedented times, it's going to require that we collaborate with other organizations. And then it's going to require that we collaborate with you better in ways that we never have before. We're going to have to get creative, we're going to have to be more innovative, and we're going to have to provide solutions to problems that our business community and our community at large is facing. And so we need to serve as a voice and advocate for businesses. We need to be pro-business in what we're doing. I got a call yesterday from a small business owner who's making a large capital investment in his business, which of course affects the community. Well, he wants to be connected with economic developers. I have the pleasure of meeting with our economic development team today. Well, that's an opportunity for me to share what I heard from that small business owner with that group so that they can now be connected. That's the chamber's role, is to connect our small businesses or business owners in general, budding entrepreneurs, connect them with the appropriate entities so that they can move forward in their businesses and add to their bottom line. And then, of course, ultimately employ people, create jobs, and move the community forward. Identify new opportunities for collaboration. I think that we've done some great work in collaborating, especially, for example, with Clinton County Public Schools. We've done a great job of collaborating with them. That's just one example. There are many, many others. But there are also some opportunities out there that we probably haven't even thought of, haven't identified. So my role over this next year, as I'm out building relationships and meeting with the community, I'll have an opportunity to determine where we can collaborate more and more effectively in order for us to do business well. And then, of course, implementing programs for partnership and then aligning with notable community organizations, whether it's the arts and tourism, or whether it's nonprofit organizations like United Way, or even smaller organizations such as like Rotary Club and Ryan's Club. Those are all groups that are doing great things in our community, and the chamber can help to further their message because we are the connect to the larger network. So we need people coming to us to be a solution center and a resource hub. And then, of course, driving connectivity. I think that this is important. This is a very busy slide, so forgive me for that. I just really wanted to cover a lot of ground here in terms of driving connectivity and how important that is. I talked a little bit about social media already, but what I will say is you'll be able to follow us and find us out on Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter and Instagram. Those are all places that you will be able to see what we're doing. As I mentioned, Paige has been doing a really good job of keeping us present and having a presence on Facebook. We've also started getting active on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram to follow. So if you're on these platforms, please look us up and definitely start following us. I'll be doing the same. And then I wanted you guys to know that we are moving full steam ahead. You know, yes, we're in the middle of a global pandemic. Yes, we're going to be very responsible, and we're going to certainly follow the state and the local guidelines regarding social distancing and best practices and reopening guides. We're going to do all of that because everyone's looking to this organization to lead the community. However, as Ben said, we can't go under a rock and hide. We've got to press forward. We have the work of the community to still do. So kicking off, our events really with this networking series, we're pressing right on. We'll continue on next month with the networking series, but I want to share with you some upcoming things that we have on the horizon. Right now, we are taking nominations for Leadership Clayton. Leadership Clayton, this is exciting because we have an opportunity to identify emerging leaders in this community and help to shape and groom them into future leaders at a higher level, not only in their organizations, but across this region. And so I love a great leadership program. And what we have in store for Leadership Clayton this year is pretty phenomenal. We've linked up with the Fanning Institute over at the University of Georgia. They are known for their leadership development and training programs. And I am very excited to announce that we are going to be implementing their program of work into the Leadership Clayton program. We are accepting nominations through July 31st. And so please, if your organization has not nominated someone, please do so by the 31st. Also, if you're an alumni Leadership Clayton and you can think of somebody out there, shoot us an email, let us know about him or her, and send a nomination over. Also, the Valor Awards, which is actually slated for September 10th, is coming up. We are currently taking nominations for that as well. And I will be in touch with sponsors. If you've sponsored this event in the past and would like to participate again, expect a call from me, of course. But if you are interested in the Valor Awards, never heard of it, don't know what it is, and want to hear more, let's talk. I'd love to get you in the fold. This is a great program and a great opportunity to recognize our folks in public safety and first responders. This is presented by Kaiser Permanente. I know we have Cherise, of course, on the call, and Tom, I saw he logged in on the call as well. Thank you, Kaiser Permanente, for your sponsorship of the Valor Awards. We are very excited about this program and look forward to a great event this year. And then, of course, I want you to save the date for the golf tournament. Our annual golf classic is slated for October 5th. That is a Monday, and it is going to be presented by Toyota South of Atlanta. We are super excited to host this golf tournament again out at Eagles Landing. It's going to be a great day for us. And so if you're a golfer or if you're not a golfer and want to come out and build relationships, again, great opportunity. Definitely let's connect so that we can get you signed up for that. We've also got some more leadership opportunities coming up through LeaderCast. And then, as I mentioned in our education initiatives, we're still pressing forward with our Principal Partners Day and partnering with Clayton County Public Schools. Again, through leadership development, education initiatives, and workforce training, small business development, networking opportunities, and exposure opportunities, there is no shortage of ways to get involved in this organization. I think it's very critical, especially at a time like this, for us to stay connected and for us to go out and continue to drive the power of business so that we can better serve you as a community. So I want to thank you again for the opportunity to share what I believe will be my plan over the next year as I am out and about pounding the pavement day in and day out in this community and serving you. It is my pleasure. I am honored and I am very humbled to be here and look forward to meeting many of you over this next year. Thank you. I guess at this time I can open it up to questions if anyone has any for me.
Wow, thank you, Valencia. We sure do appreciate and we're excited about the future of the Chamber and that your willingness to get involved from the minute you got here. We're very excited about that. If you would like to be involved in more of our committees and attend more events in person and virtually, please help us make Clayton County the best place it is to live, work, learn, and operate a business. And that's what Valencia is here to do, as she just described to us. One of my favorite things you said was right in the beginning, you got to look good to be good. I think you actually said that in your interview. I remember that stuck with me. Might need to tell that to my kids, especially those boys who don't like to always look good when they walk out the door. But I know what you were saying, and I appreciate your comments about being that people are the fabric of our community. You know, one of the things we talked about in our annual meeting back in January at our gala event was that collaboration was going to be key in 2020. None of us could have been prepared in January for what we've encountered this year, but that doesn't mean that we're not still collaborating to be part of our community. And communication has been more key than ever. And thank you for making that a priority, Valencia, and understanding that really increasing our brand and getting our name out there and being a part of our community, getting hitting the pavement, as you just said, as you were closing. But again, you can have all the creativity, you can have all the supporting roles that you can, but you can't do any of these things, and you're not going to be effective if you can't execute. And Valencia has carved out a plan to execute what we feel like is going to help move the chamber forward in being a significant and critical resource for businesses in our community, and to help attract and retain those businesses in a county that's ripe for growth. And we appreciate it and excited about you being here. So one of the first questions that's been posed to us this morning is, tell us a little bit about what attracted you to Clayton County.
Well, that's great. I'm glad you asked, because, I started in the beginning talking a little bit about where I came from. What I did not share is that I have a number of family members here in the area. My mom is actually originally from Macon, Georgia, which is just south here, of course. And my dad they both went to college here in Atlanta, and they have siblings here. And so I've got a plethora of cousins in the area. And then, of course, also a bunch of friends from college that are still here as well. But really what attracted me to this community is, although it's a part of a large metro area, it still has a small town feel. And I absolutely love that. So you kind of get the best of both worlds in this community. The cost of living is, a little lower, which I think is a great tool to attract companies to the area and people to the area. It also has a very diverse economy or economic makeup. I saw that Erica's on the call. I'm sure she's probably nodding yes. It has a very diverse economic makeup. You've got manufacturers, you've got a ton of retailers here, you've got the food service industry, you've got the airport, and I know we've got some airport participants on the call. That's very important to attracting more industry to the area. There were headquarters here. And having worked in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, which had a population of about 150,000 in a 3-county region, this is double in size in one county. To me, that was attractive because it's more of a challenge in terms of, I can come to this community, which still has a small town feel. It's larger, but it's more diverse, more opportunities. So you've got the diversity, you've got small town charm, great economic drivers in the community, in close proximity to, obviously, to the epicenter, which is Atlanta. So those are the reasons, those are the characteristics of the community that really attracted me. But ultimately, I'll go back to the people. I'll be very honest in telling you that the executive search committee, they were fantastic. It was a great group of folks to work with, and it also showed me that the leadership in this community, I thought to myself, if the leadership in Clayton County is reflective of the executive committee, I'm in for a treat. And so far, so good. Everyone has really rolled out the red carpet here. So it's kind of going back to the people approach. I know in Mississippi, they kind of hang their hat on being the hospitality state. And I'll say this, Georgia's really good in Mississippi and run for its money. In terms of hospitality, boy, you guys really know how to welcome me, welcome a girl into town. So thank you so much for that hospitality. It's been wonderful in helping me get settled and acclimated into the community.
Awesome. Paige, did you have any other questions next that you wanted to pose to Valencia that you think would be, and we'll answer all the questions that people have, but we have time for a few more. So I was just curious if you'd like to share a couple.
I'm just reading a text actually that I got. And Lindsay, I think people are excited about your passion for the chamber world, but they're also interested in what you enjoy doing outside the office. So a little more personal. What do you do for fun besides work?
Okay, so besides work, which I tell you what, last night I didn't leave here until 6:45, but when I get home in the evenings, I've got two little pups at home. I've got a Shih Tzu and a Pomeranian, and I run behind them constantly. They keep me very busy. I'm also a huge tennis fanatic. So I love tennis. And so, I've kind of been at a loss this year because there's really been no tennis. I've traveled all over the country and all over the world really watching it. And I love football, so I can't wait for college football to come back on. I'm fingers crossed that the SEC is going to be playing. I mean, this is a big deal to me, as I can imagine it is to you guys as well. But anything that's also involving, people and connecting and relationship building. I love, getting together and shopping and dining and doing all of those things. So, really, the pandemic has really thrown a wrench, I think, into everyone's social life right now. Then we've all had to get creative and kind of host some personal Zoom calls with friends. So you get a little zoomed out even in your personal life. But I will say this, I have really embraced learning more about the things that I love and have not known that I've enjoyed, such as gardening. That's one of the things that I've picked up in this pandemic, is gardening. And so I'm really excited about getting a yard again and being able to grow flowers and do some of those things. So thank you for that question. It's not often that I get to talk about myself in that way. So thank you so much for letting me share that.
Thanks, Valencia.
And I think that was the last question that I'd received, Ben.
Okay, great. If there's any others that want to pop up in the chat, we'll try to grab it before we leave. But before we adjourn this morning, and again, Valencia, what a fun way to start to introduce you to the community. I'm an in-person guy, so this pandemic is killing many of us with that type of personality, and I know that you and Paige both have a similar one. So while it's extremely tough to do business this way, this was fantastic this morning, and I appreciate the enthusiasm and the energy that you bring to the chamber. And you know what? I think everything that this community stands for has been waiting on you and Paige as well. And so the timing has been perfect. So thank you both for what you do for our community, and we appreciate you being here. So before we adjourn, we have some great door prizes. We don't want to do anything without giving away some door prizes this morning. And Charisse, again, you know what? You prayed us in the beginning. You're going to excite us with some door prizes here. Pass it over to you.
Well, thank you, Ben. Yes, we do have two great door prizes. So in lieu of the environment that we are in, I know you all understand the importance of having PPE, personal protective equipment. And so it is also imperative that we all sanitize our workplace. And I'm just going to take a little public health plug here. Wash our hands. And yes, do wear masks and social distance. That's the only way that we can decrease the spread. But we are so lucky to have Clorox right here in Clayton County, and they have donated another case of their wipes. Yes, you heard me, one case of Clorox wipes, which is very hard to find in the store these days. So Paige, we have a bunch of names that we have pre-registered, and they're in a cup, and I'm gonna ask Paige to twirl those names around, and she is going to pull the name, and I'm going to give a little virtual drum roll.
And it is Regina Deloach from the Development Authority of Clayton County.
All right.
Oh, congratulations, Regina. Congratulations. We do have one more prize. We're keeping our fingers crossed that our next networking series will be live and in person. And so that winner today will receive a complimentary seat at the August 18th event, which will feature none other than Shannon James from Airtropolis. And I think Shannon is with us today. And
Yes.
Paige, I'm going to allow you to do the honors and a little virtual drum roll. Blah, 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 blah. Paige, our
And it
winner.
is Chantel Bryant from Southern Crescent Medical Center.
Congratulations, Chantel Bryant. Ben, I'll turn it back over to you.
And I do hear if we're unable to meet in person that Shannon will provide a 11x14 picture of himself to the recipient. I'm just kidding. Sorry, Shannon, put you on the spot. We're looking forward to August 18th and hearing what's happening all around the Airtropolis, and thankful that Clayton County is a part of that and moving our area forward and bringing national presence to our area from a business perspective. And we appreciate all Shannon and what his team are doing, and exciting to hear from them. So thank you, Therese. Congratulations to our winners, Chantel and Regina. And thank you all for connecting with us this morning. You know, as we close, I would like to thank again our presenting sponsor, SunTrust, now Truist, as well as our monthly sponsor, Heritage Bank. Please watch your inbox for upcoming learning and networking opportunities through the Clayton County Chamber of Commerce. Remember our website. We are keeping that up to date. It has tons of information on that right now. You'll also be able to contact Valencia via the website as well. But be sure, one more time, to nominate yourself or someone from your organization for Leadership Clayton. The deadline for that is coming up on July 31st. And you can find all that information on claytonchamber.org as well, or our Facebook or Twitter pages to learn more about other upcoming events and programs. Before we adjourn, if you get a minute, shoot Paige a text, an email. Paige, we will forever be indebted to what you have brought to the table over the past 6+ months, almost 7 months. Not only did we gain a professional in our organization that has treated the chamber like an organization that could be led up against any chamber in the state or the country, but we gained a friend and somebody who we can call on at any time. And believe me, she's got a ton of knowledge and information. She's really served as a mentor to me this year and helping me understand the chamber world and what all it can bring to our community. So your enthusiasm and your professionalism and your excitement has led to Valencia coming on board, and just being able to watch the two of you work together. That's what it's all about, and collaborating together to ensure that the world knows about Clayton County. So thank you both so much for what you're doing. Thank you, Paige and Letitia. You'll be missed, but you're not going anywhere. We know that we can call on you guys and treat you as friends for the future. So Clayton County Chamber and all of Clayton County thanks you for your work. Valencia, again, welcome to Clayton County. We're excited about August 18th, our next event. Excited about all the events you mentioned on the page that's still showing. So again, we appreciate each one of you, and we look forward to seeing you next month. We are adjourned.